Chicago Bears, with the first pick, select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle out of Georgia.
Shout out to Jalen.
Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud.
How you
QB out of Ohio State.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it, dude. Ohio State quarterbacks
If you're Houston, what are you doing?
haven't been the best in the pros.
Or are you going to spend money on Derek Carr?
The knock on Bryce Young is definitely the size. He's a winner. I'm not saying C.J. Stroud isn't.
Size matters to you.
It's just I'm not too gun-ho on either one right now as I sit here to say, like, oh, I can't believe they snubbed Bryce Young. A lot of people have Bryce Young at 1.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to take C.J. Stroud over Young, fine.
C.J. Stroud, end of the season, in that game against Georgia, big reason why.
You're taking Young over Stroud? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying in the sense of, like, why some people might have flipped to it being C.J. Stroud instead of it being Bryce Young.
Oh, how he did against Georgia.
Yeah, how he played against Georgia, because he showed not only the throwing part, but it was also the legs that really,
Yeah, I think both guys are good. I think both guys deserve to be picked in the top 5, especially if you're looking for a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like, I would put both of them over Levis. Now, Levis, the argument for him is he's at Kentucky, a team in the SEC, and the guys around him aren't as good as some of these other teams that he's going up against. So he's trying to make do with what he has, and he's got all the talent in the world. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to go with, sure. And that's what Mel Kiper has the Seahawks doing with the 5th pick. But then I still got the 3rd pick here. That's Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama going to the Cardinals. Colts take Bryce Young at 4. I think they would be ecstatic about that.
And he in a dome? Oh, man, that's love.
I was talking with a Colts fan in my life. Like, he really wants Young.
Sir?
Yeah, he's like, I think we got to do whatever it takes.
Young's fire. He just, the frame is small, but he's fire.
Detroit taking Tyree Wilson, defensive end out of Texas Tech at 6. Raiders at 7, taking Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern.
Yeah, the old lineman boy.
Just sounds like a football player.
But he
sounds like a dude that's going to bulldoze you over.
He one of them dudes, I'm like, if you like to fall a little to us, I'm all here for it. A
lot of people do have us taking him.
That's
if he
what
does
I'm saying.
fall.
If he were to fall, he would be one of them dudes. Just off my initial. I ain't tapped in all the way just yet. But just off the initial, I'm like, ooh, caught my eye. But that was a highlight. I ain't go back and watch game on him yet.
I don't even need to watch the tape. I could just look at his name.
That's what I'm talking
Peter
about.
Peter Skoronski.
It sounds like like he probably got a beard. He probably could run block, and he definitely could pass block. Yeah, and he wears flannels. He definitely wears flannels.
Okay. Next one is Falcons. Miles Murphy, defensive end out of Clemson. Panthers, Anthony Richardson,
Ooh.
QB Florida.
Yeah.
At number 9.
I heard people trying to say that Baltimore was going to potentially look at him too. I'm like, man, y'all got to stop this, bro.
That's the big Noriega of the Ravens fan.
Yeah. It's like, bro, y'all, like, Lamar is the guy, period. Pay that man his money.
Philadelphia Eagles at number 10.
Which is crazy.
Kalijah Kancey out of Pitt.
How you like that? Tackle. How you like that?
Oh, he's legit.
How you like that?
He's legit.
Can I get a breakdown on him? What's up? What you got on this?
He's really good. Like, he's really damn good. He's an athletic defensive tackle.
Does that mean they moving on from Hargrave?
Yeah, that's probably why they make this pick.
Okay, because he's similar to him, right?
Yeah. No, he's legit. He's going to be good, man. He's going to be really good. He's not going to be Aaron Donald, but, like, he's going to be legit as hell. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's why I said Hargrave.
Multi-time Pro Bowler. Yeah, like, he was sick. He was sick early on in his career at Pitt, like freshman, sophomore year. And he just won Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. Yeah. So he's really
we got Defensive Player of the Year for the ACC?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Salute. Okay.
Yeah, he's legit as hell.
Salute.
Tennessee Titans at 11 take Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State.
He's another guy that if he would have slipped, we might be looking at him as well.
That's where some of the earlier mock drafts.
He's another one.
Had us taking him. I think they had us at like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And us taking Paris Johnson Jr. But then we kept winning, and now we're at 17.
Tell them what happened, Deke.
It is what it is.
They rolled us off But we ain't right back, though.
12, Houston Texans via the Cleveland Browns trade. They take Lucas Van Ness, defensive line, out of Iowa. The Jets take, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll be honest. I'm just saying Jackson Smith out of Ohio State.
Hold on. Smith and Jigba.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
They take him out of Ohio State. New England Patriots. They take your boy, Devin Witherspoon, out of Illinois at the 14th spot.
And I love it. I love it. I love the pick, Deke. I love the pick.
First cornerback off the board, according to
Kiper.
Kiper.
Deke. I love the pick. Devin in New England, bruh. It makes perfect sense. I would hate it, though. It makes perfect sense.
Packers at 15 take Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame.
He nice. He definitely nice.
Washington Commanders.
Still can't talk you into.
At 16.
I can't talk you into going that approach. Kind of.
What?
The Gentry and Mayer, big ball, 12 personnel, Pickens, Deontay on the outside, OG New England style.
What happens to Muth?
No, I said both. Like, think about New England. It was Gronk and Hernandez. I said, can I sell you on us getting Michael Mayer?
So you're saying Muth
Pairing
and Mayer?
him with Mayer. Yeah, those two together. And then we already got our receivers out front in terms of Pickens and DJ. Then you got the running game with Najee. Another option for your boy Kenny. He's definitely a complete tail tight end. Like, he will probably push move to see who's gonna be the guy. Now we talking about having two studs, two ballers, almost like Ertz and Goddard in Philly. Can I sell you on that?
They only got one guy these days. Like, they got rid of.
But they've changed to that. But remember, it was a time where it was Ertz and Goddard together, and they was nice. They was like that.
It sounds nice.
It does sound nice. It's intriguing a little bit.
It's not terrible. Is that what you want to do?
I flirt with it. I haven't committed because I haven't started watching all the prospects just yet. By the time we get to the draft, though, I'm gonna have it locked in. But I've only started watching, like I said, the first like couple dudes, like heavy so far. And I'll talk about them in a little bit. But yeah, I haven't checked on mother dudes just yet. But the concept, I like it a little bit because I'm like, it doesn't have to drastically change our offense, but it gives Kenny another weapon. And at the same time, the concussions with Move was making me a little nervous. Okay. So I'm just kind of like, all right, should I bring me something in just to be safe? I also like the fact that Michael would definitely be able to match that if Move is unavailable to me at any point in time. If this becomes an issue going forward, I at least know I got me another crazy, because remember, it was supposed to be Ebron and Move. That was supposed to be the vibe. It was. I ain't tripping on that. That was supposed to be the vibe. And remember, Ebron stopped dropping passes while I grew my little beard out. It worked. And then he got hurt. So I'm just saying. I kind of like the two tight end set, big boy ball, play action at pass. Kenny can operate in between the middle of the field on any of those tight ends. And then when he wants to stretch the field, you got Pickens and you got DJ who wins one-on-ones, create separation. Both of them dudes could block. When I want to go big personnel, 13 personnel, I bring in Gentry. Or if I get exotic, you bring in Connor. Big boy ball. Start out so you get the defense and base personnel. They got to go 3 safety or something like that. And then we disperse that formation to like empty. Or disperse it to, a more of a like smaller personnel grouping type set. And now you got Kenny out here operating with mismatches.
What's this dude's comparison?
To me, I think of him like just kind of like a more complete move. Like in that same vein, he can run block, he can pass block, he can run routes.
He's between
he has size.
Gronk and Muth.
Yeah, like he's not as tall as Gronk. I think he's what 6'5". Is he 6'5"? I thought he was like in that range, right? I'm not. Let me make sure.
I'll check right now.
Hold on. Oh, you got. All right. I didn't want to do him a disservice.
He is. They don't have it up right now.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna just try to Google
They're
it.
They're waiting for
the official.
At least on NFL and their whole draft site and stuff. They're waiting for his.
All right, I'm gonna check Notre Dame's. I'm gonna check Notre Dame website real quick and see what we got.
Whew. I just don't think the Steelers will do it.
You said you don't think they would?
Yeah. Listen, dude.
6'4", 265. Like I said, like
you could talk me into it. You definitely could talk me into it. I'm not even gonna front.
67 catches, 809 yards, 9 tutties, average 12.1 per catch. It has the run out the ability. Like I said, man, could move you in terms of the blocking part of it. When you want to keep him into protection, so if Kenny wants to stretch the field, he could definitely give you that.
What other teams are doing this right now?
In terms of the big boy 2 tight end sets?
Patriots are trying.
They want to get back to that, but yeah, we'll see.
It's just not there. Mm-hmm. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry.
But I say because I think of Philly and San Fran, but they don't have a second guy that they use like that. Because I think of like Kittle and Juszczyk and how they use those 2 guys. But Pat could be your move guy. Both of them could be the move.
Why
guys.
I asked that is
either one could be move out. Both, like I said, both win 1-on-1s.
I like the thought of doing something different than what the rest of the league is doing.
Oh, well, yeah, because I'm really trying to think like San Fran's probably the closest that I could think that are doing it to like a successful level with 2 of those body types.
Because Baltimore, that's why with the Patriots doing it, that's why it was so unique. It was no one really had a plan for that at the time. It was out of nowhere
because it makes you play base defense, but you got athletes. So now you got not everybody has a Fred Warner, not everybody has these type of guys that can really cover. So when you start talking about spacing these dudes out, and now you got these LBs playing 1-on-1 with these dudes, they panic, man, because that's not what they built for. You might have 1, but not 2 of those dudes. And you're going to be in base because of the personnel, because you got to respect the threat of the run. And with the Najee back there, with 2 more than capable blockers, you can't even say, I'm going to play small ball against it. And that's what New England would really force you into doing. Because you would say, okay, we can't cover Gronk and Hernandez out of base. We can't cover them out of a 3 safety look. So we got to go big nickel. But as soon as you go in that nickel front, they're running it. Yeah. And that nickel now has to fill that B gap, or that nickel has to set the edge. He ain't doing that, not against them tight ends. You Gronk all them dudes. And Pat or Michael, either one of them dudes versus a nickel corner, man, they gonna do the same thing. Because I like it. I ain't there yet, though, but I like it. Baltimore tries it, though. When I think of Mark Andrews and the big boy, was it Ricard?
Sure.
But obviously Ricard doesn't give you the receiving ability, just the heavy blocking ability. But he's one of those ones I was thinking about.
This could get us head and shoulder over those teams that are trying to do it, though. We could be the most successful team.
Because we already have everything there. The infrastructure is already there.
Now, 49ers have the scheme and everything, but in terms of just, we have 2 solid tight ends like that.
Both, like I said, both could cook. And I don't think it would have to take away from anybody else getting fed on the team either. I think Deontay probably would feel it the most, just because of the volume that he's accustomed to getting. But I still feel like across the board, our offense would be way better. We're still going to minimize turnovers, and Kenny's going to be able to flourish in that type of offense right there. And I'm just trying to think, like, you don't even got to overcomplicate it for the Canada people that either believe that he can cook it up or don't believe that he can cook it up. That's just, like I said, early on, dark horse.
Commanders take Broderick Jones at 16, offensive tackle out of Georgia.
All right.
And at 17, your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Thank you for saying it that way. I appreciate you. Because you was talking about me specifically, right? Like, because they be trying to throw that Bills on me.
No, it's kind of like how the announcer does it the game. No. I'm announcing it to everyone.
This ain't no game. It's us. This is me and you here, man. All right?
They have us, or not they. Mel Kiper has us taking Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State.
Okay,
I will read the write-up, and then I could go briefly through the guys that go after us.
Yeah. That's perfect. And then after that, I'll talk a little bit on it. Yeah.
He says, like father, like son in Pittsburgh.
Is that your Mel Kiper voice?
No, I'm not going to try to do an impersonation of him. The Steelers drafted linebacker Joey Porter in the 3rd round of 1999. It's a steal when you look back at it.
Yeah, party like it's 1999. One time for the 99 to the 2000, baby. You know what it is.
He says, and they have a need for his son in 2023.
Big facts.
Porter is an aggressive 6'2 corner.
Long.
Who's a 3-year starter for the Nittany Lions. Picked off just 1 pass in his career, but he had 10 pass breakups in 2022. So he gets his hands on the football when it's heading in his direction. The Steelers likely will be hoping one of the top offensive tackles drops to them, And they could also target a defensive tackle. And he just ends it there.
I like it.
Yeah, so who we pass up with that pick? The next one is the Lions taking Christian Gonzalez, cornerback out of Oregon.
Yeah, he liked that.
Bucks take Keon White, defensive lineman out of Georgia Tech. Seahawks at 20 take Byron Young, defensive end linebacker out of Tennessee. Chargers with Tuli Tuipulotu, defensive tackle out of USC. Probably added an extra syllable or two there in that name pronunciation. Baltimore Ravens finally take a receiver. And they did take one in Rashad Bateman, but they get another guy, Quentin Johnson, wide receiver out of TCU. 23, Vikings with Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. Jaguars, Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. No Ringo, huh? Giants at 25 take Jordan Addison, wide receiver. He has out of USC. /Pitt.
He's out of USC, man. He's a Cali kid. He's a Cali kid, man. Let the Cali kid live, man.
Wow. Remember McShay had this dude getting drafted, I think like number 5 to the Eagles like a month ago? Kiper has him at 26 to the Cowboys, Bijan Robinson.
Oh,
RB out of Texas.
You're right. But it's the running back thing.
So he's the first running back taken.
Do you think Dallas does that again, though? Now, granted, it's later in the draft than when they took Zeke, but it's just like...
They're probably cutting Zeke if they do this.
I'm saying in a sense...
And then you have a Robinson-Pollard combo.
I don't know. I mean, it is fire.
Their defense is... Nice. I don't know what they got to do with their defense here, if they got to re-sign guys or whatnot, but...
He nice. He definitely
their defense is kind of set.
Yeah, he definitely nice.
They could probably use another receiver.
Yeah.
But to get back to...
I don't hate it. He nice.
Hey, take the ball out of Dak's hands. Let's run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a shame because you're paying Dak a lot to start doing that.
Yep.
Buffalo Bills at 27 take Derek Hall, defensive end, out of Auburn.
Who you say?
The Bills are taking Derek Hall.
That's what
you got a take on him?
All right. No comment yet.
Defensive end, outside linebacker.
I ain't got to my D-line, outside linebackers just yet. Like I said,
so what's that? He's the kind of the stopgap for Von Miller in a way.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. You still got Boogie Basham and Russo. You're waiting for these guys to emerge.
You got Boogie Basham, Russo,
and
AJ Epinesa.
Too much overkill right here?
No, but think of it like this, man. Boogie, AJ, and and Russo, all three good players. But it's one of them things like when Von went down, they still were getting pressure, but it wasn't like Von, if that makes sense. Like, Von Miller's a special type of player. So you always trying to look for that type of impact, that type of guy. And I haven't, like I said, researched this dude, but I think Mel is just saying that he thinks that could be that type of guy.
Right.
Yeah, because the other three dudes are still good, but just think of it like they're more, the trio is good versus like if I'm just putting one of those guys out there by themselves, you're not tripping on that. But if I can give you them in waves, that's a little bit different. But hopefully they're saying that this dude could be one of them Vons type, but I haven't watched them yet.
Bengals at 28 take Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah.
Okay.
They also have that dude out of Georgia up there, right? In terms of like a first or second round prospect. Yeah. So, I wonder if maybe these guys are probably going to go second round. Like this guy's going first, probably that Georgia guy. I was going to say, can we hold off on this whole tight end thing and draft a dude maybe third round?
Yeah.
Where we don't have to put as many resources into it early on. Get the other positions, cornerback.
Because if not at 17, tackle. Maybe at 32. But this thing only goes to 31, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish he would have.
He didn't give us
what
32
players are, the top 5 next up. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So 29. Yeah, that was Bengals taking the tight end. 29 with the Broncos, taking Isaiah Foskey, defensive end out of Notre Dame. Eagles take Brian Branch, safety out of Alabama. That dude's pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw not too many Alabama games this year, but he was jumping off the screen all over the place. Kansas City Chiefs at 31 take Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College.
And that...
So Ringo's still available for this 32nd pick. I don't know who else. That's the only guy that I'm thinking of right now, though.
I ain't got that far just yet in my evaluations. But talking about our selection, Mel had us taking Joey Porter Jr. I definitely think that he's one of the top 3 corners in this class right now. I think the top 3 dudes, I think it's clear cut. Joey Porter Jr., obviously out of Penn State. Devin Witherspoon, number 31, the corner out of Illinois. And then Christian Gonzalez, number 0, out of Oregon, formerly at Colorado his first 2 years. But when we talk Peasy Jr., it makes a lot of sense just in the element of the bloodlines, right? We know there's some familiarity there. And when you talk his game, the thing that I like about his game is this, man. He has a long body with long arms. You watch him out there, the length shows. It's almost like Richard Sherman, like watching him when he would line up against some of these receivers, just how linear he is. I think that he has excellent route recognition, man, in the sense that when he's in coverage, he is reading what these guys are doing, and it helps him be ultra competitive at the catch point. I think that, in terms of his fundamentals, I think that he's really fundamentally sound, and that is the part that helps him in terms of him playing press coverage so much. With him being long like that, he sees his hands home, and that helps him out in terms of just that initial part of it. I also think that he's a willing tackler. He will hit you, and I do like that because we need corners that hit. We don't want dudes that's turning it down, especially in the AFC North. That's a no-go. But I think that, he's definitely a willing tackler. And in terms of how he plays, I just think he plays with really good smarts in terms of seeing the ball. When the ball's up in the air, he does a good job of getting his head around, and he has a good confidence. Just when he's out there, he has that swagger about him, man. I like my corner to be confident. I like my corner to believe in themselves, and he definitely shows all of those things. And I also think that he has really good makeup speed in the sense that I do see guys get separation on him, but his closing is what helps him out. And part of that is because of the length. He's 6'2". I think he might measure a little bit taller than that, but he just looks really long when you're watching him play. Now, some of the things that are negatives about his game or things that you got to be a little bit concerned about. When you talk his long speed, that's something that we want to see what he tests at the combine. He's a long strider, but it doesn't always look like he's just zooming. So you want to see, does he have the big speed, or is he just a regular speed guy at that position? He could be very handsy at times as well. Farron Bradford brought that up, but when you're watching him, he press coverage. So in press, he likes to be physical. Problem is, at our level, some of that stuff's going to get caught. In terms of versus the slants, some of the in-breaking routes, he gets up high on some of their shoulder pads and stuff for wrapping them up. And it's like, you can get away with that at that level because you're able to touch on the dudes, not in a weird way, but just in a football way before the football is released. Whereas at our level, once they pass 5 yards, you can't be that handsy. So that's something he would definitely have to work on. I also feel like because of him being a tall, linear corner, it makes him a little bit high at times when he's trying to deal with the quick change of direction, which is why they get separation on him, which is one of the things. It's like, he gives that separation up early on, but he has the makeup speed and the closing and the just super route recognition and ball savvy to know. And this part of him being a former receiver, this me just knowing about him, but he had that, in terms of like the high school and stuff like that. So you see how he attacks the ball. The other knock is this, though. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions. You heard it, man. 1 pick in his career. He gets PBUs, but he does not get interceptions. And that obviously is something that we want to see more of. Can he catch? Absolutely. But he just didn't get a lot of interceptions. Now, I will say, watching some of the games that I did watch from him, even
did Porter have Ike teaching him?
No. It's not that he can't catch. This is the situation. I watched the Ohio State game as well, right? He's not getting targeted that much. He gets
an awesome problem.
He gets a couple of throws legitimately where it's like, all right, you're gonna have a chance right here to make a play on the ball. He gets a couple of those a game from the games that I watched, and I do think that that's part of it. But could he be better in terms of not settling for PBUs and trying to get picks? Yes, because you want your corner to have more picks than one. You know what I mean? Like, you want that. So I would also say that was a knock. And then to me, it's just, like I said, because of his length, you always have the question when you get big corners, are you more of a zone guy at this level? Think Richard Sherman versus man-to-man. Think Darrelle Revis. Think Darius Slay, Joe Hayden. Smaller, more compact. They got that lateral quickness is there. You know what I mean? Whereas when you think of your bigger, longer corners, you think more of your fire zones, your cover threes. IT was a big, tall corner, man. You thinking guys that can run range, they can see stuff, you know? And he does give me that vibe. But at the same time, at Penn State, they would play him pressed up. So I do like his versatility there. But that's the one thing that I'm still just like, in college, you can get away with it. I don't know, can you live like that at this level, especially with how handsy he is? But that's, wow, you know, you're projecting it. But I definitely like what I see with him a lot. In terms of the other two corners, I would talk about them as well real quick, man. Take me a sip.
Because we passed up.
We passed up on Gonzalez
according to Mel Kiper.
And Witherspoon went in front. So I'll talk Witherspoon as well.
They had Witherspoon at like 10 or 11, I'm pretty sure. So what's the deal with this Witherspoon guy? Why wasn't he talked about that much throughout the season?
Played at Iowa. I mean, Illinois.
He's getting a lot of buzz right now.
Yeah, he played at Illinois. Illinois don't win. It's literally that.
They had a better season this year, weirdly.
Yeah, but it's Illinois. Who are you talking about in the Big Ten?
I'm not disagreeing with you. That I just can't believe.
That's all, man.
They were terrible when Kendrick Green was there. They actually had somewhat of a decent season.
So when you talk Devin Witherspoon,